Was a day in my life when everything changed. A single decision, one that cost me everything I had built for decades. A decision that most people called a mistake. But for me, it was freedom. People think success is built on smart choices. But the truth is, sometimes it's the hardest choices that define who you really are. Let me take you back to the moment when I lost everything, not by accident, but by choice. It was 2008. The world was watching Microsoft, and so was I for more than 3 decades. This company had been my identity, my dream, my life. Every morning, I'd wake up thinking about code, products, and innovation. But somewhere along the way, I stopped thinking about myself. I had become the face of a machine that never stopped. Every success came with pressure. Every achievement came with expectations. And every smile I gave to the world hid the exhaustion behind it. Then came the question I had been avoiding for years: what comes after this? That question haunted me. You see, the world thought Bill Gates had everything: money, power, influence, respect. But deep down, I had lost something much greater: purpose. So one day, I made a decision that shocked everyone. I decided to step down from Microsoft, to walk away from the empire I had built with my own hands. Board members called it madness. Friends called it a midlife crisis. Even my family couldn't fully understand it at first. But I knew what I was doing. For the first time in decades, I wanted to stop chasing more and start chasing meaning. The day I officially left Microsoft, I stood in front of thousands of employees, people who had trusted me, believed in me, and given their lives to my vision. My voice cracked as I said goodbye. It felt like leaving behind a part of my soul. When I walked out of that building, I looked up at the sky and whispered to myself, "I'm free, but now what?" That night, I sat alone in my study. No meetings, no deadlines, no emails, just silence. And in that silence, I realized I had lost everything that once defined me. I wasn't Bill Gates, the CEO. I wasn't the richest man in the world. I was just a man, trying to find his next purpose. Then something unexpected happened. I received a letter from a doctor working in a small African village. He wrote, "Mr. Gates, your foundation helped us vaccinate 200 children last month. You didn't just fund medicine. You gave hope to families who had none." That single letter changed me more than any business deal ever had. I realized, maybe losing everything wasn't the end. Maybe it was the beginning. From that moment, I threw myself into philanthropy, fighting diseases, helping farmers, building schools, empowering women. And every time I visited those places, I saw something that reminded me of why I made that decision. I saw children laughing, families healing, futures forming, not because of my money, but because of the impact it created. That's when I knew, the best decision I ever made was the one that made me lose everything. People often ask me, "Bill, don't you miss the old days, the power, the fame, the control?" And I tell them, no. Because now, I wake up every day knowing that what I do actually matters. When I left Microsoft, I didn't walk away from success. I walked towards something bigger than success. You can rebuild money. You can rebuild companies. But you can't rebuild lost time, or a life without meaning. Sometimes, life will ask you to give up the very thing you think you can't live without. And that moment will break you. But if you have the courage to trust it, that break becomes the start of something greater. I lost everything in one decision. But what I gained was peace. Today, I'm not the richest man in the world. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Because real wealth isn't measured in billions, it's measured in lives touched, in problems solved, in hearts changed. Remember, One bold decision can change everything. It might cost you everything you have, but it could give you everything you truly need. So, no, I don't regret losing it all. Because sometimes you have to lose the world to find your soul.